Get ready to roll because it's the second annual Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowl-O-Rama, and you, yes, you are invited to join the fun.
Come bowl with your favorite Central Florida celebrities on Saturday, April 12th from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Oviedo Bowling Center. All proceeds benefit Rosie's Adventures, a local nonprofit helping kids battling cancer.
It's your chance to bowl, meet celebrities, and make a real difference. Spots are filling up fast, so you don't want to wait. I don't want to brag, but my lane, my spot, already sold out. That's right, I will be there. Visit justcallmo.com/bowling.
The Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowl-O-Rama, Saturday, April 12th at the Oviedo Bowling Center.
Everybody, say it with me. Baby! Yes, dude, it's episode 48. Baby! Yeah, episode 48. My name is Rauce Padgett. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Good Sauce with Rauce and Joel. But once again, double skirt. We do not have a Joel, but I do have a Nico Renato. I do have myself. And I also have someone very special, someone epic. I don't know if he wants to be known as epic or legendary, but he is at the very least to one person, and I am that person. Great friend of mine. Please put your hands together. I'm only talking to you, Renato, because it's just you. For Mr. Jack Bradshaw!
I don't know if I'm supposed to clap for myself.
Well,
I watch that in award shows when they show someone and they're clapping. I'm like, come on, you're the nominee. Put your hands down.
I was curious if you were going to deliver my favorite tone of voice off rip on this pod, but the hey is exactly what it is. Jack, thank you for joining us here. You drove over to my house to hop on a pod, and there's plenty of questions that I need to ask you, because one thing that I severely miss about being over at the station, more so than probably anything, is spending my breaks with you.
You were the person I would spend the most time with at work.
I know. So we have a quota to hit that we've got to catch up.
Yeah, a year's worth.
A year's worth of like, dude, are you seeing this? So first of all, are you enjoying the end of the world?
Yeah, we're doomed. We're doomed. It's just, okay, what are you going to do about it? And if nothing, if you're going to distract yourself, how much video games can you play?
Yeah, and the answer is Metaphor Refantasio is a great Japanese role-playing game, and it's truly numbing all of the negativity in my life. So shout out to Japan for making great video games. But there's all of those breaks that I would always have, like, serious conversations with you, stupid, funny conversations with you. Like, this is a great example. This is one that I saved. I was like, oh, this would be a Jack Ross conversation that we would have. I have a son now. I usually have him by myself in the mornings.
Right. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 for 2.
That's being a dad.
That's being a dad.
Yeah.
He's breathing, I'm breathing.
That's being a successful dad.
I drink coffee.
As most people will.
But also most people.
What
happens with coffee? You
got to go to the bathroom.
You got to go to the bathroom.
You take him into the bathroom with you.
What do I do?
Right.
Okay. So what did you do?
It depends on the age, on where
6
they are.
months.
6 months. Is he mobile?
No.
He's not crawling.
No.
You put him down on a blanket. Are you home alone? Just you and he?
Just me and him.
You put him on the blanket. You could even leave the bathroom door open, like even outside the bathroom. If you could keep him outside the bathroom.
Okay, so he's outside of the bathroom, but there's a problem going on.
What's the problem?
This is what I'm doing right now. I got the little rocker thing.
Yeah.
I strap him in the rocker.
Great.
So now he is stuck and strapped into a chair.
Yes.
And he's just staring at me.
Yeah, you got to get over that.
Well, here's the thing. I just don't like how he doesn't have an option.
You can't just put him in the sink
no.
facing the other way?
No, he learned to blink at birth. Matter of fact, pre-birth, he was blinking. He can close his eyes.
He can close his eyes.
He's making a choice to watch you.
But, like, it is a thing, dude. It's like, Jack, he just stares.
Yeah.
And I remember...
You get stage fright?
I get a little stage fright, and now I feel like he's judging how I go to the bathroom.
You have to teach him. Right. This is where he's learning.
He's basically doing the rock eyebrow every time I put him in this chair. And,
Not again.
and I need to take a break so I can take care of him.
Eat more fiber, Dad.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. But I don't know, man. Do you remember what it was like with a baby in the morning?
My wife, she was singing at night, right? So if she was home or sleeping late. So we kind of, our jobs kind of offset each other, where I'd be working daytimes and she would be working nights. So there was always one of us home. Morning duty, though, I don't remember.
See, I'm trying
situation too often.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah, my youngest is about to turn 21.
That's so cool. That's also.
Some people call it cool.
I saw your face just wince in pain right there.
Yeah.
But so you were talking about like going opposite schedule. One thing that Olivia and I are really trying our best, and I worded this so well like 2 months ago that I was like, damn, you ever word something so well like in mid conversation that you're like, I have to follow through on that.
Yeah.
I was talking to her and I said,
If not, write it down.
if not, write it down. But I looked at her and I said, like, I don't want just like you have the mornings, I have the night, or vice versa. Like, I really need the streams to cross over. I don't want us to just be taking turns.
Yeah.
That's how I worded it to Olivia, of like, I want all three of us as much as we possibly can, because then it makes the other times when it's just you and the baby way easier in a way, because if the ratio of your time of parenthood is solely you and the baby, like that's the hardest working time that it's going to happen. So when you do have that second party, your partner, wife, or husband, then it's like super doable. And now parenting is like way more fun.
Yeah.
It's a blast. You're laughing together. You're like, compared to in the mornings, I have to use a bathroom and he stares at me with the fear of God in his eyes. That's a different experience, you know? Granted, I don't think my wife in that situation would also help out that scenario, because, man, what a god-awful face he makes.
Congratulations on surviving the first 6 months.
First 6 months.
Yep.
I said this last week, is that
You got 35 more of those time chunks to go until he legally can leave.
What is... They say it goes by legally can leave. Yeah. Or that's also one way of saying that you can legally kick him out.
Yeah.
Well, what was that like when they leave?
You hope it's in a situation where it is that where you feel it's for the best for them, whether it's going to school or into a better situation. Sometimes they go into a situation and you're like, are you sure?
Tell me when you left your home. Do you remember what it was like? Because I remember what it was like for me. I don't think my mom got off the recliner.
I do. My mom got off the recliner because she was the one who left our home and I was there.
You became the mom?
She and my stepdad retired and moved to Florida, left the house for sale. Me and one of my 6 sisters were still living in the house. So she moved to Florida and we were still living in the house until it sold.
You never moved out. Your mom moved out from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Until they sold, then I moved to a new place. I lived about a year up there in New Jersey, and then I came down to visit my mom. I'm like, Florida's pretty sweet.
That is very funny, though, that you turned 18, your mom moved out. She probably started smoking weed, playing Super Smash Brothers, too.
So
Did she slam the door on the way out?
it would have been
I'm out.
Yeah, it would have been me turning 20 because my youngest sister would have turned 18, and she was at college and off to college. So, that's when she split. When my youngest sister went off to school, and they sold the house or put it up for sale and moved down to Florida.
See, my mom's an interesting character, because when I left, I'll never forget what she said to me, which was, hurry up, I think the Nuggets game has just turned on. I don't know why my mom, this is why stereotypes are hilarious to me a little bit. I love the exceptions. Like my wife. My wife is a vegan, screaming liberal. Nah, I shouldn't say screaming liberal, but a liberal nonetheless. hasn't had a shred of animal product in over 10 years. She drives a Ford F-150 that looks racist, that looks like it has hate in its heart. It looks like it looks like a villainous truck of, and then you see her walk out of it in like a little black skin-tight dress, and you're like, nothing makes sense.
In that January 6th getaway vehicle.
Yeah, in that Jan 6. That's her vanity license plate. It just says J6. And then I think about my mom. Let me take a quick break because I need to talk to you guys about that mortgage guy, Don. If it wasn't for my wife being a realtor, I wouldn't know anything about mortgages. Luckily, I'm married out of my league. She showed me how important it is to get second opinions. A recent study showed that less than 20% of people compare their first mortgage quote. What that means is that there's a lot of people leaving money on the table. Honestly, my life changed when we got a different deal on our mortgage. And that's where that mortgage guy, Don, comes in, because he makes it easy to compare quotes. All you have to do is just go to the website, hit the button that says compare, upload your quote, boom. You're going to find out if you are having a good deal or a bad deal. And lastly, one of my favorite things about Don, he's as Orlando as it gets.
How do I get a hold of him?
You can catch him at thatmortgageguyDon.com or right here on Real Radio 104.1 with his own show every Saturday morning. Check him out. He's awesome. Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote.
Don't miss the boat, compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
And then my mom also, she is 5'1". She has lost a ton of weight. Shout out to Monjaro or whatever.
She looks great.
She looks great. She is obsessed with the NBA and knows every stat from 1992 to 2005. She will out-talk basketball with anybody. There's some stereotypes that I have exploited off of Jack. Like, I know if you look at Jack and you go, this guy doesn't like rap music, I've had a lot of fun taking advantage of Jack not knowing rap music.
I don't know if you see, there was a special on. It was a big football game in halftime, and then there was this artist out there. I don't know what he was saying.
I think his name was Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Yeah.
Kenrick.
I think his name was Kendrick Lammer.
Yeah. I wanted to follow it, but I couldn't find the closed captioning. I didn't know what was being said, but so a lot of people seem to enjoy it. So
Yeah.
He said a lot.
Like, my wife breaks that stereotype when she walks out of that truck. When my mom, when you put a Heineken in her and she's going to tell you everything about Hakeem Olajuwon.
I like breaking stereotypes because people like to label and assume, especially in the job that I do. Whenever you're public about your opinions, people think, oh, if you like this, then you must believe this, this, and this. And so, and a lot of times it can be confrontational, especially in today's political climate, where it's like, oh, I'm going to say, attack you on this point. And it's like, well, I actually agree with that. And,
Yeah.
And so
Now we're just wasting time.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, I like that, as whether it's being a left of center Democrat or liberal and believing in gun ownership rights.
I was about to say, that's one, dude. Yeah. Jack be strapped up.
Yeah.
Jack got an AK in the trunk, dude. He's got a chopper in the car.
Yeah.
I like being the
Uzi in the glove box.
I like being the only white dude at like a wedding or something that can actually dance.
Dude,
Yeah.
it helps a lot.
Right.
I'm going to put myself in that category as well. Jack?
No. But I mean, I respect it. It's like,
Yeah, but I respect it.
totally, the irony of the fact that I had my mom with 7 kids. What was my mom's profession? How did she support this large family where we lost my dad just over 50 years ago this week? How did she support us? She ran a dancing school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think she didn't love you enough or something, dude. She didn't want to give you the happy feet.
No. So there's 2 things that came into play here. One is because I was taking tap, acrobatic, and stuff because all of her kids did. There were 2 things that came into play. One is because being a single mom with 7 kids,
Yeah.
she was busy AF. And so, and I was at the tail end, we were the younger 3, and she was just busy. And, one daughter, one of my sisters had to watch us and stuff. So there was a time management issue. And the other one, I was the only boy.
Yep.
So she was a little like, she knew she couldn't just apply the same parenting techniques she used on my 5 previous sisters, that came before me. And she's like, okay, you don't want to dance? And she's like, okay, fine, you don't have to.
But now look.
And I was quick to quit anything.
Oh, yeah.
Trumpet lessons, piano, drums, guitar,
Get me outta here.
dancing. I regret it all, and I blame her for it. Shame on her for letting me quit.
You know who also has that same take? And I've picked up on this. You were probably the 4th person in my life
Really?
who has brought that up. And I'll give this to my mom. She, sure, does she still think Antifa did it? Yeah. But you know what she did do? She made it almost impossible for me to quit on something. She had the whole eat thunder, crap lightning, like don't throw in the towel. She would always give me that high school rah-rah, like, you're a pageant. You know what pageants do? They don't quit. I'm like, I don't know.
Such a good life skill. Just finish what you started.
And then Olivia, my wife, is also in the same category as, like, I had piano lessons, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore because I'm 8. And you still now look back on those moments and you remember trumpet, piano.
And your son might have a golf moment where he's like, Dad, I don't want to do this. And you're like, you have no idea how much this is going to benefit you. Keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Please don't quit, please don't quit, please don't quit. And then it becomes, how can you psychologically or mentally get him to a point and reason with him to continue? Or do you force it, or do you allow him to walk away from the game that could, provide your future as well as his?
You really hyped it up at the end, right there at the end, and provide for fortunes for generations.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, I don't want to play golf anymore. He's putting black eyeliner on.
You could just see the bang. His bang is already growing. I'm done parring and birding.
Yeah.
I don't want to get up and down. I just want to get down and down.
I just want to be down and stay down.
Yeah, and there's always going to be that same tone of voice too when your kid looks at you, right, and goes like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to play golf anymore, Dad. And that first, they're like, all right. Yeah, that's fine. Because that's the noise of all the pain. The pain of time and money and investment.
Yeah, all the dreams, all the visions that you had.
So for you, did you, Ross, having parents who were involved in the game?
Oh, yeah, dude.
You play the game.
I
You
played
very well. But what was that like? Was there any moment where you were like, I don't care about this?
So there was, God, man, I wish this answer was funny. I wish it was, because now we're about to take a left turn to Sadville real fast.
Yeah, it gets dark real quick.
Rare.
When it talks about Ross's golf.
I like Sadville.
Just because you said it Gladville didn't make it any more sad. Maybe if I say it happy, it will like
let's
change
hear it.
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
hear it.
all right. So like
My dad died.
my dad died, and it was definitely connected to the game of golf. And I stopped playing soon after that. That actually helped a lot more than I thought. That's hilarious. So, like, yeah, my dad died, and I didn't know at the time that it was severely connected to the game of golf. So I quit for 15 years until one of my best friends popped an Adderall, hit a good golf shot, got obsessed with the game of golf, and I followed suit. Sans Adderall. Full circle because of my dad.
Wait, no, I suppose that should be a golf clap.
Yeah, it's a golf clap.
golf
Yeah. Golf claps and slow claps get really confused with. All right, so this is going even better than I thought.
Could be a new form of therapy or something. Just say it with a positive attitude.
Say everything with a positive attitude. Everybody thinks that the election was stolen, and I die a little bit on the inside. Journalism is on its way out, and we do not know the consequences of what that future holds.
We're doomed. Oh, well.
We're doomed to enjoy your beignets. It's Mardi Gras. It's like trumpets and jump. That is a new form of therapy. We just made $1 billion. We were talking about breaking stereotypes. This is where I was 100% wanting to go with this, because I had one of the gnarliest gigs of stand-up comedy this past weekend. And I'm going to spill the tea. I'm going to spill the beans about a little place we like to call the Villages here in Central Florida. I get an email. It's from the Villages, from Playhouse, Millhouse, something, their big movie theater at the Villages. I say a number that would make me want to do it. I should have asked for more. They interrupt with a yes. Next thing I know, I'm on the way to the Villages, and I performed there this past Saturday.
Sold out.
Sold out. The reason why I didn't promote it was because I knew it was the Villages, man. They'd be going out and spending money, and like,
Yeah, no need.
I can't really do 100% my act because I'm being told I have to be clean. It's, like, this is the Villages. There's an intermission. They're old. They need bathroom breaks. What I'm going with this is that the Villages shattered all stereotypes this past weekend. They say clean in air quotes. What they really mean is, hey, say edgy stuff and see if you get away with it. If you don't, back off. But if you do, let it ride, Playboy.
It seems like that would be how you approach most gigs.
Most gigs, but man, I'm going to hold one thing Villages accountable for. When there is absolutely no diversity, it looks like this audience was grown in a lab from fermented bird seed. Like, they grabbed old people spores and spread it over fermented bird seed, left it in a closet with a glow lamp, and then this audience churned out 7 months later. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It looked like I was thousands of feet up into the sky as I was looking at a cloud. Everyone with white hair, some toupees, which I questioned. Why get a white hair toupee? Why have fake white hair? Go all out, dude. I don't care if it matches with the eyebrows or not.
I think it really draws more attention if it's not the right color. It's not age-appropriate color. If everything else is gray and you have this black mop on top, I'm like...
Yeah, I could see that.
But here's the okay. I mean, you do.
I think they feel like they're doing a little more camouflage work.
Right, right now, you were saying different colors. You have a silver foxish beard right now.
I have the gray coming in the beard and like some random strands, throughout the hair. But yeah, I'm letting my hair grow, and I don't know why.
No, you know why?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to change. And,
hell yeah,
but. I get bored, and now it's at a length where I have no vision where it's going.
Oh, wait.
I have no plan.
Wait, flag on the field. You got to do this, but you got to stay as happy as possible.
I have no vision where it's going. I got no plan. Come on, man. Hair is growing, though. It's growing.
I got a plan, though, for you.
What's that?
Braid it. Cornrows. Oh. Zigzags. Allen Iverson?
I don't know.
Back in the day, when he steps over Tyronn Lue?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I think you braided up. But the biggest stereotype that I saw get broken from the Villages.
From the Villages, you did your gig last Saturday, sold out show.
Everyone.
White audience.
I was told right before from an old woman, she goes, hey, if you want, I am asking her about the loofahs. They say color-coded loofah thing.
Yeah.
I go, I heard it. I think it's BS. She goes, you know what's not BS? This is the beans I'm about to spill. This is for real. Because she goes, the loofah thing, not true. She looks over her shoulder. She goes, now go over to City Fire, that restaurant bar over there, at 10:30 tonight.
I'm intrigued.
I go, what happened? She goes, that's true. What you hear about City Fire, that's true.
What do we hear about City Fire?
Everyone that's the hookup spot. That's like City Fire. It's the one bar restaurant that's still open late at night. like from I think they close at 11. That's the latest. So like they're
Why not? It's like 6 hours after dinner ended.
So this is where I'm going with this. This is the biggest stereotype breaker. No loof is true. I've been doing stand-up for 15 years. I need a good opening joke. I need a good pop. This woman at the bar tells me this. I put all of my trust in her. I walk out. I go, villages, make some noise. Whoa. And they're like, you know, like they're brutal. They're brutal. And I go, guys, I'm one of y'all. I know the loofah thing ain't true. I know where it all goes down at. Putting all my trust at this woman. I go, it goes down over at City Fire. About a room of 400 old people. I've been doing stand-up for 15 years. Top 3 laugh I have ever gotten.
Really?
Seismic. If you are listening to this and you were in that room, just picture what that was like for me. Seeing old people just like piss and cry themselves laughing just at the thought that their secret is out, that City Fire is going down. And I think I
Had a joke you lifted from a stranger.
Dude, she was on her second dirty martini. I think she was trying to bring me over to City Fire. I think that's exactly all I know is stereotypes are fun for the exceptions. Find the exceptions, man. The exceptions, that's where life is at. That's where the details are at. Jack, thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
For joining us here on Good Sauce. You are the best. My name's Rauce. That is Nico Renato. That is Jack Bradshaw. We'll be right back. Much love. Peace. If you live in Central Florida, you are very lucky because you live where the History Center is. We're talking 4 floors of imagination, 4 floors of storytelling, 4 floors of history.
And as always, on March 20th, they will be having their third Thursday event. It is absolutely free. Free! They're open late from 5 to 9. There is absolutely no charge.
It's the perfect date night. Visit thehistorycenter.org. Get on board with thehistorycenter.org.
Choo-choo.
Oh, I like that. To all of our listeners, Joel and I are the arbiters of cool.
We decide.
Do you know what's really cool? Everything vintage.
I'm the vintage member of this podcast.
The best at vintage apparel in all of Central Florida is Foundation Records.
And guess what? They're always looking for the hidden gems in your record collection.
Go visit Alex and Peter Cohen over at Foundation Records. You will not regret it. Hit them up at foundationrecordsfl.com. That's foundationrecordsfl.com.
Here we go.
Thank you. We're here. We're feared. We're queered. We're queered. We're cleared. Welcome back. We're smeared. We're smeared.
Got beards.
We got.
Well, some of us.
I have 2.5 adolescent chin hair. As our good friend Jim once described my facial hair as I have the facial hair of a Chinese fry cook.
That's so
The
good.
accuracy.
Yeah, that it is something else. Okay, Jack, you don't have to laugh that hard. Welcome back. We're having a blast. We're having a hoot. First of all, you guys just became best friends over the break because you guys are huge Severance fans. And not only are you guys huge Severance fans, but a lot of people, it's the #1 show right now.
It's a club, and when you find someone else in the club, you're so excited. When you find they are at the same place in the journey as you,
Yeah.
it's very exciting because you know all conversation is on the table, and there's nothing you have to hold back, and it is just something that's so much fun to talk about because of the mystery of it. And so when you find those connections, it's like, all right, let's go.
All right. You know what you just also described?
What's that?
Homosexuality in the 70s.
Don't knock it.
Well, it's just like it's the secret of it. It's a club. Once you find somebody who's on their journey at the same time as you are, and you can finally be yourself and talk about, all these wonderful things that could possibly that might happen, that you might feel.
Yeah.
Let's hit a sauna.
Yeah, it's in a sauna. In 2025, there are bars that we have made for people that enjoy Severance so that they can go to the bar and celebrate.
Oh, I would go there.
Yeah, you
Especially
would.
if like you walk in the door and then there's like a cool effect and it makes you feel like you're being severed.
Dude, another $1 billion idea.
Yeah, we got $2 billion ideas.
Real fast, side note, and who knows, I might cut this later. Jack, do you remember on radio?
No, I was gonna say it.
I had a bit called $1 Million Ideas.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And it was hat pants.
And hat pants is still the funniest thing I have ever thought of.
Only because it came with a picture.
Yeah, half hat, half pants, full hat pants. They were suspenders that
the hat to the
didn't go to your shoulders. It would go to your hat. So all of your clothes would rest on your hat, on your head. No, I've been wanting to tell you this for so long. This is another thing a break conversation I brought up. I said years ago, I was like, guys, this is the future. Daytime fireworks. We need daytime fireworks.
You have said that often.
And then what happened in the last 2 years, 3 years? Daytime fireworks became a thing.
Yeah.
They're just streaks of like yellow and red smoke, but it's still, I don't know. I just
saw some daytime fireworks and it held up. It was magical, to be honest with you. I was at Disney World. I was just looking at the castle, just looking, and then all of a sudden, chow, 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 pa, pa, pa.
Oh no!
It truly was magical. It was actually like I felt something.
We're getting invaded, but it's fun. But going back to Severance, you guys are huge Severance fans.
Yes.
I am 3 episodes in, and I'll be honest.
Season 1 or 2?
2. I'm season 2. 2.5 episodes in, to be honest with you. I think I fell asleep during the 3rd one. That's not the show's fault. It's mine. I started it at like 11:30.
Oh, episode 4.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah.
So real fast, because we all love television, and this is a great question. What is the best episode in, let's say, a 10-episode series?
So I would say in Severance, for example, it was that the last 3, and maybe that penultimate episode, the one before the last one, where it just built up. But there's usually, and I think in this season 2, it might be episode 4 of a 10-episode arc. You know, it's something that just really, it's like that booster stage. You know, you're kind of setting things up, and then you go with throttle up, and then it just takes off from there. So I would say 3 or 4 might be where you really need to nail it, a really premium episode to really set the stage for the ride all the way to the end.
And that's for specifically Severance.
I would say for most shows, it just like, I mean, to complete the metaphor, like a rocket launch, it's that first initial thrust is to get out of the atmosphere, and then once you're in the atmosphere you need to be, then you need to travel.
Yeah.
Then you need to go. So those first 2 or 3 are really setting up the premise of the season, and then you need to turn that ignition, that booster, to really take off.
So, like, I feel back in the day with shows, season finales were huge, massive. And I feel like production companies and producers started picking up on that. Audiences are expecting the goods on the last episodes of a season.
Yes.
How do we exploit that? Episode 9.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it. I think episode 9 on all the 10-episode series, you can do the math. If it's a 15-episode show, I'm not going to do the math. It's probably 13 and a half, whatever. I think the second to last episode of a show on a season is getting all of the budget. They're putting all of the story. If you look at Game of Thrones, they had a lot of episodes. That penultimate episode. God, I shouldn't celebrate the $5 words because then it just ruins that you used the $5 word. But I think episode 9 is always going to be like the biggest bang on a show.
It's also very similar to like sports, right? Like,
Okay.
I think the best day in like a football season is like the conference finals.
AFC, NFC,
AFC, NFC,
Eastern Conference, Western
two
Conference.
Super Bowls,
You get two
basically.
Super Bowls.
And also because, and with that, a lot of the time is because of our expectations are the last one to be the ultimate.
Yeah.
And that's why the penultimate sometimes flies a little under the radar with all the stuff it's dropping.
Do you see how much better it sounds when you don't celebrate penultimate? It just comes off so much cleaner.
I've been in a penultimate overload. I've used it a few times on the air this week. It's also mentioned in the Severance podcast as they talk about this most recent episode.
It's actually where I learned the word.
Yeah.
Because this was the penultimate
Yeah.
episode of Severance.
Oh, I could feel that was not your first rodeo giving it a spin, but that was like a second or a third rodeo on penultimate right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to practice a couple times.
So there's one thing that is preventing me from getting super into Severance, and tell me if I'm super illogical. First of all, I know it's one of the best shows to ever touch a screen ever. In my opinion, it is legendary boundary-pushing content.
Absolutely.
I watched all of season 1, and that opinion formulated then, and it has not changed. But I'm in a different place in my life when it comes to season 2. Season 1, I was a little bit more youthful. I was a little bit, how do you say, happier.
Well, yeah. You were youthful because it was about 10 years ago when it came out.
And that was another little thing that's preventing me from getting into season 2, because I'm like, I remember loving season 1, but I remember season 1 being like, bro, this is murky and dense and left to interpret yourself kind of thing. And that's great storytelling. Season 2, I'm a little bit darker. So then when I put on Severance, the first thought that comes into my mind is, I'm just an ant. I'm just worthless. What am I, just flesh and bone? And then I look at my son and I'm like, you shouldn't look up to me. It doesn't. It reminds me of something that I'm trying to not think about a whole bunch, which is the finite of life and the existential crisis that's right around the corner. And every time I put on Severance and every time I see Adam Scott, I'm like, I'm a 0. And other people are 1s and other people are also 0s. And we're just a bunch of 0s and 1s working for the man. And blood is energy, and society has taken it. You see, exploited the workforce. I'm just part of the workforce. I pay taxes.
Yeah. I feel that way watching Black Mirror. Like all those, like, they make you question your life.
Yeah, and sometimes, call me crazy, just not in the mood. Sometimes I just want to level up and equip a sword and fight a dragon.
It's balance, right? You can have that in your life. Do your little dragon fighting, and then for 40 minutes a week, you get to enjoy this universe that they create that is so unique and so well executed. There's been a lot of comparisons to the television show Lost.
Yep.
Did you watch Lost?
We just talked about Lost not too long ago on the pod. I did not watch Lost, but I think it's hilarious.
From that episode of you guys talking about it, that's when I learned they were pulling stuff out of the air.
I had no idea.
Right? No idea. What I really like about Severance is they know it's been renewed for a 3rd and 4th season, and that's the end. They know what the ending is. The only question is the turns they're going to take to get to the end. So where Lost was, hey, we're going to do another season. Game of Thrones, hey, we ran out of story. Yeah, but we got more seasons to do. I like the fact that, no, we're giving you 4 years, and it's going to end, and you're going to see no more. Just like Ted Lasso.
I love that.
Renewed for season. To your point, and I wonder what season 4 of Ted Lasso is going to look like, because that just got announced. And Sudeikis is back. Yeah, and he's teaching. Do you know what it is? He's the coach of a women's team. But the one thing about Severance that you were talking about isn't it weird that sometimes it feels like a CEO when the director, like Ben Stiller being the head of that show,
Yes.
I feel taken care of as an audience member. I trust Ben Stiller from his previous works of whether it be committing to a comedy bit, but I just trust Secret Life of Walter Mitty. If you haven't seen that movie, or if you don't like Ben Stiller, watch that. Get back to me. That's a powerful film that speaks to the soul. It's the opposite of Severance. Imagine Severance, but if it was positive. Like that Secret Life of Walter. Whoa! I did not put those two together. That those are both Ben Stiller projects.
Yeah, and they're like opposite.
They're kind of glass half full, glass half empty, yin to each other's yangs. Huh.
Yeah.
But I just trust Ben Stiller, and like there's anti-cash grab vibes when it comes to Severance.
Yeah. And you can tell they're shooting in New York. It's like a lot of the stuff that's the decisions that they're making. They're not the cheap ones. You can tell. No, we are determined to make a quality product, and we're not being led by studios or even the fans for that matter, because that whole first season was shot during the pandemic. They talked about when it was done, they had no idea how it would be received. There was no feedback on it. Adam Scott talks about seeing his billboard in Los Angeles and being embarrassed when it came out because he didn't know if it was going to be laughed at.
Wow. And now
They had no idea how it would be received. And then people just said, yes, give me more.
one of dems. And I do believe in that show. I wonder why, right? Do you guys ever prevent yourself enjoying something fully because you're already questioning why it's so good?
Oh yeah.
Like it now, instead
Yes.
of thoughts
Yeah,
of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, I like this,
Yeah.
the question is like, why do I like this?
Right.
You know, like,
I'm not even sure how popular it is. I just know for the people who watch it, they love it and appreciate it.
question, so in the premise of the show, if you aren't aware, getting severed is that you get the surgery that you show up to work, and as soon as you show up to work, you're already on your way out. You did not.
It's a brain implant, and as you go to work, it triggers it where you do not remember your work life, and when you leave, it triggers it. It turns it off, and then you don't know your personal life. So you have an innie, a work innie, and they have one experience, and that same person outside is their normal self who has no memory of what they did at work.
So what messes me up and why that show makes me feel like I can't wait for the sweet release is because I feel like I'm already doing that. I feel like and I think that's why the show
Resonates, I know.
Yeah. So I was about to ask you guys, would you guys do that? But now I'm going to change my question to,
We already do it.
do you guys feel like you already do that?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Like, no, I of course I know your gig of, being live doing radio and like,
Which relies on your
cannot be mindless.
Yeah, you need to draw on your experiences, your life stories. It's like doing this show right now. You couldn't be on Good Sauce without having a history of life experiences to draw from.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's applicable in that sense. I'm not even sure.
Oh, dude, I know
what they're doing in the show. 2 seasons in, we're halfway through, and we don't know. Well, we might find out something this week, but we don't know what they're doing. We get a little more. There's breadcrumbs. They keep leaving these breadcrumbs. But
I'm hungry.
I trust in the writing. I trust in Ben Stiller.
He's the man.
Overseeing this project to know we're going to get to a satisfying conclusion. And if not, we riot.
Then we riot. we burn down Manhattan.
I was gonna say though, like if I feel like if you have a career, right, I think you're less likely to feel like, I'm two different people. But if you have a job,
there's a difference between jobs and
like passion projects.
Like where you sit, I know where you're at. Not a lot of fluorescent lighting. You have light. You can change the lighting. but to the people who see that green font on a register and the slight frequency buzz of the fluorescent lighting, you know, that show messes me up.
Dan Erickson is the writer. He wrote the original story, and he did it. It was inspired because he had a job. I think it was a door factory.
That's right. I heard that.
And it was just like the mundane work he was doing. Said he wished he could just not think about this at all. And, and that's how it triggered the idea for the story that he went on to write. And he is the head writer for this show.
Yeah, I think George R.R. Martin said that he lived in like an apartment that like out of his window he could see New York City, but like from far away or something. So it hit his mind. He would just write what he thought was happening.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I could be totally wrong though. I made this up.
Let's make up more stuff.
But I thought
Really got me going, dude.
no, but I thought I heard that. Like,
Oh, and then the wall is Canada. Like north of the wall.
yeah, like
is
north
Canada.
of the wall. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, if that show was more popular right now or more current, I would have a lot more jokes for like Bronx is this, but I don't remember anything because of that last episode. It's just so why every time I watch Severance though, I feel like the Matrix. I feel like, oh God, I'm just getting siphoned.
Oh, just wait, bro.
Oh no,
You're not even ready, bro. You don't even know.
But does the show? I think I know the answer to this. Does the show put you in a good mood?
I've never felt this way towards anything.
But that's not
my life.
an answer.
No, I enjoy it. Yeah. So when I have something I am looking forward to.
Okay.
It's like, Friday night, I know what I'm going to do.
It says so much.
You know what? Screw that. I'm watching it Thursday.
Yeah.
I'm watching it Thursday night.
Like what?
I'm not going to let anyone ruin it for me.
So the first episode that I watched when I turned it on, and first of all, the camera work is insane. Do you know in the show that they tried 50 different whites? Have you seen?
I can see that.
They're
that meticulous.
I saw a behind the scenes footage of, because the color white is a huge part of office, clock in, clock out. We are so used to the color white, and they were so specific that they tried 50 different hallway color whites, paints, until
It's a practical set.
Yeah.
That is, the layout is highly impractical.
So you look forward to the episode, but I want to know about the feeling right when the music hits and you see credits where you go,
I want more. I'm saying, like you sense it because just with time, and you see a story building in it, and when you think, oh, this would be a good place to end it, and boom, then those credits come up. I get that, but I want more. That ends. I'm looking forward to the next one because, and they even talked about this on the show's podcast, is they talk about the cliffhanger and just how it's that scene that makes you want more. And if it is a 10 episode dump of a streaming show, that's why you're most likely to click play next to satisfy the answer to whatever question they just raised.
and so, and then
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, you're asking the feeling that I have when the credits roll, and I would say pain. Pain until next week.
It
hurts.
Don't want it to end.
Yeah.
So I feel pain, but it's also like I think I'm just gonna go drive. Like I watched the first episode of season 2, Severance, episode 1, and I was like, I just need the wind hitting my hair. Let me sunroof it. I'm gonna go pay some tolls real fast. And then as I go through the tolls, I'm like, just another sucker fish on my existence as it siphons $1.25 from my life.
I think you get a bigger discount when you have ePass. I think it's like 87 cents.
And then like I'm always trying to, and right now I already feel Severance. I feel like I don't have to watch Severance exactly right now because I'm like going through Severance. Like, waking up, looking at my son, going like, I need to be your role model, but I also need to be my own role model, striving to deal with my innie and my outie.
And you are at a unique time in your life where you have this beautiful baby, young son that you feel the weight of the responsibility of to show him the way. And in times that seem a little foreboding and, end of days so you have that pressure. And so sometimes the entertainment you are drawn to, you might need more of an escape than Severance is providing. Because for us, it's like, yep, this seems like what it's like.
Well, get ready, because he's going to have a brother or a sister, because I had a wild time over at City Fire in the Villages.
You're gonna have a new dad and a new grandma.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Jack, for coming over. I will watch Severance. I just need to feel feelings a little bit more so I can disperse them at the end. But also enjoy life. That Severance show talks to my soul a little too much. My name's Rauce. That's Jack Bradshaw. That's Nico Renato.
You
Enjoy your life.
Peace. Get ready to roll, because it's the second annual Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowl-O-Rama, and you, yes, you are invited to join the fun.
Come bowl with your favorite Central Florida celebrities on Saturday, April 12th from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Oviedo Bowling Center. All proceeds benefit Rosie's Adventures, a local nonprofit helping kids battling cancer.
It's your chance to bowl, meet celebrities, and make a real difference. Spots are filling up fast, so you don't want to wait. I don't want to brag, but my lane, my spot, already sold out. That's right. I will be there. Visit justcallmo.com/bowling.
The Just Call Mo Celebrity Bowl-O-Rama, Saturday, April 12th at the Oviedo Bowling Center.